Thank you, Philippe. Hi, everybody. Thank you for being here. Maybe we should start with a little movie that shows what DAIA is and what DAIA wants to be, and then I'll comment some key facts of 2017.
We live in a time of challenge. The world requires us to be at the forefront of innovation in a fast-moving environment where only excellence succeeds. We are pioneers, manufacturers, and service providers. We work as engineers, craftsmen, pilots. We shape our aircrafts from conception to operation as masters of every required skill. We take safety, reliability, and efficiency to their heights, rising to meet the challenges of precision, responsibility, and performance. Together, we are creating the smart industry of tomorrow. We support your projects and convey your ambitions. We strengthen our capabilities and broaden our view of the world. We are at the forefront of the digital revolution as it carries the promise of the industry of the future, a reinvented industry. We are the reference in tomorrow's world. Our company is united and forward-looking, convinced that beyond the horizon, a new era of achievements is opening. The way ahead is clear. We are DAIA, and we will succeed together.
So we thought it was interesting to give you a global vision of DAIA because most of you know well the TBMs, the TBM family, but you don't know what is behind the TBM and what is behind DAIA. You know, DAIA started a long time ago with this guy, Paul DAIA, and it's still a family-owned company, but I'll come back to that. So a few words about what happened in 2017. The first good news for us is that we have signed the first contract with Boeing as an aerostructure player. It was key for us because we are very much focused on Europe, on Airbus, on Dassault, on ATR, and now we have signed contracts with all the American OEMs, and I'll show you why it's important for us. So Boeing, Gulfstream, Pratt & Whitney Canada, and others, and that's key for us. And we have also presented our new business lines, among them the aircraft interior that we showed for the first time in Friedrichshafen almost a year ago. But of course I can't take aerospace without talking about these fantastic planes you have behind you, the TBM. It was the second year of sales, best ever, above 57 aircraft sold last year, which is an excellent figure for us. And we're very proud of that. We have a good, and Nicolas will come back on details later on the TBM, good vision of 2018, so we are delivering excellent products. We are proud of what we are doing, and it comes from, here again, history counts for us. A 155 years old company also goes on its roots, and last year we had here the replica of the Type L that we donated to the museum, so you can go and see it in the museum when you go to the museum. And we are building another one, and that's the scoop for the future, another Type L, and hopefully we'll fly it soon so that you have this connection between past and future. And of course, we have started delivering aircraft not only to owners, which is the majority of our sales, but also to companies, to corporate companies that fly it for others, and that's nice for us. It's nice for us because it's also a good anniversary, birthday. 30 years ago, we flew the first TBM, and as you see, it's still performing and still an excellent aircraft. On July 14th, 1988, we had the first line of the TBM 700, and it's quite different from what we have today. It's improving, but we are proud also to have this long vision. Why am I insisting on our American clients? Because I have decided that in the next 5 coming years, our strategic plan, Succeed Together, you saw the movie, was going to increase our American footprint. We would like to be, in 2022, 1/3 of the business should be done in the US. So we are going to increase our footprint in the US. We want to be an American DAIA as well, a European DAIA today. And that's key in our strategy because half of the market is in the US on aerostructure, 80% of the market is on general aviation in the US for us. So increasing our American visibility, and I count on you to increase the awareness of the DAIA brand, is important for us. Even though we have already 7 locations in the US and Mexico, because we are 5 in the US and 2 in Mexico, where we have all our know-hows already produced or done in the US. Manufacturing in Mexico, warehousing, logistics, but also the Pompano Beach service station and sales station. We have the nuclear activities of the group that are 20% of the group that are also present in the US. So we have already a footprint with above $240 million sales and 200 people. We are already Americans, not enough, because the turnover of the group last year was about 1.1 million euros. That makes about $1.3 million, so $1 billion. So we would like to increase that share to reach 1/3 in 2022. And why we think we're going to succeed in that? First of all, because of all the people you saw in the movie, our DAIA people very committed on achieving that, but also because we have a quite unique business model on the market. First of all, we are an aircraft manufacturer. That's not unique per se, but when you mix that to being a family-owned company, almost 90% of the shares are still owned by all the family behind this guy. 155 years ago, that's quite unique. And also, we have always believed that there is no barrier between manufacturing and supply chain management and logistics. We consider that the plants are efficient if the whole supply chain before the plant is well managed, and we have always mixed manufacturing and logistics. 50% of the turnover is manufacturing and 50% is logistics. And we think that that original business model that was successful in Europe is going to provide added value to our customers in the US. And that's why I want DAIA to be as American as European in 5 or 10 years from that, and help us increasing that visibility and that success. But Nicolas is going to give you more details about what is the core of what we're doing here, the TBM and the general aviation for us.
Thank you, Didier. Well, I'm Nicolas Chabert. I'm the CEO of DAIA Aircraft Inc. In the US and the Senior Vice President for the Alpine Business Unit, joined with other 8 colleagues to surround Didier in his task to push us and push the boundaries in the next 5 years and beyond, because we need to kind of double the 150 years that you were talking about. So I'm not sure that I'm going to serve 150 years, but we are surely going to help the company to move in that direction. Well, we are here, it's fun, it's Oshkosh. We have a full agenda of things to discuss and disclose to you. Let's start with why we are here. And one thing that I like to point out is aerobatics. So let's start with the movie to see what it is.
Since my memory started, I've never thought of doing anything else other than flying. I got my first aerobatic ride very early on, and at that point I became enamored with aviation, specifically aerobatics, after my first ride, and I was sold. Flying aerobatics, aerobatics, my goal was to be a great aerobatic pilot. I didn't know what that meant, but as I gained experience in the competition world, my goal, and there's only one, was to ultimately win a world championship for the United States of America as a member of the U.S. aerobatic team. My father owned a TBM 700C2 for several years from 2005 until 2011. He loved the aircraft, and I got some exposure to it and flew the 700 with them and loved the aircraft. More so loved the efficiency of the aircraft. That's how I knew the TBMs existed, and that's how I was exposed to them at an early age. After that, I sort of began my own search for the quintessential perfect personal aircraft. And I think I found that with the TBM. The autopilot's off, the TBM comes alive. It's a fantastic aircraft. You can truly feel the speed, and it is absolutely incredible with providing the pilot essentially an electronic co-pilot to help every flight and to make me feel confident that regardless of the conditions, I'm going to be able to make that flight safely and quickly. All of my time is consumed either in our construction business or in aerobatics. The TBM is both economical and fast at providing you the ability to have a business meeting in the morning in New York, a personal meeting in Montreal a few hours later, and then to be at Oshkosh for AirVenture just shortly thereafter. I can compare those three cities in one day, and no other aircraft can do that consistently and with the economy that the TBM can. The TBM is the consummate personal aircraft.
Well, there is no better say than a customer talking about the product and basically share his passion about acrobatics and also the TBM, which he purchased at the end of last year and was delivered early this year. So this is really the reason why we have the Extra 330 on our booth today, is to combine passion with the TBM product and other activities in aviation. And this is what I will invite you to do after we're done with the press conference, and come and see why we have this aircraft on the booth, the Extra 330. But I'm not going to promote the 330. So why do we have, and we've chosen to have this aircraft on the booth? It's because, you know, Moran Saulnier and Daher were a pioneer in aerobatics, and we are happy to celebrate a century of aerobatics, which started way back in 1918. So 2018, a century ago, with the Moran AI. That was a predecessor to the Moran L that you saw last year on the booth. And from that point, where we had the first acrobatics that was done, you have to know that the first American that was doing some acrobatics was Captain Temple Joyce. And he actually did 300 loops in January 2019, so that was just a year after. So Americans were exposed to acrobatics, you know, thanks to Moran. And later on, we were having a series of aircraft that became very famous doing acrobatic in a, I would say, a more professional way than the AI. That was the MS-30, which in the 30s I've been exposed to many aerobatic shows, and I had, you know, people like Michel Detroyat, famous acrobatic pilot, do incredible things with the aircraft. If we go quickly, and you are going to see that in another video, we continue to do aircraft for acrobatics, and the latest one was this TB30. Remember that the Epsilon is coming to the US. The French MOD is actually starting to decommission the aircraft, and there is a lot of experimental TB30 that have reached the US, and a lot of experimental aircraft are going to fly here, and soon you're going to see the TB30 alive with some acrobatic and also some fleet around. So this is the aircraft that we very much like. There is for us to train pilots 30 aircraft that are in France, but watch, this is not done. Daher is in the acrobatic business. So with that, I'd like to move on and look at the TBM program a little bit in details. Well, you had a summary with Foster explaining why and the reason why behind he chose the TBM. And let me point out a couple of features that are important and you need to see on the two aircraft that are here exposed on the booth. The TBM 930 today, I know that Garmin doesn't like to say new things, but we have actually new features that are coming, a full load of new features that are coming with the G3000. And these are the one that I like you to come and visit. So it starts with a couple of enhanced LRUs. The displays have joined the latest generation of resolution. You have an extended capability where we have now a DSB in and out in the aircraft. We have, I would say finally, but we have wireless connections with the FS510 where you are able to use your iPhone, your iPad and connect to the cockpit. And we're going to see that this is becoming more and more central also in aviation. And of course, we continue to enhance the aircraft with a couple of features. So if we just take a look a minute on what is behind the G3000, it's small details, but details that counts very much for our customers. First of all, we have the Surface Watch, which is definitely getting pilots some more information and increased safety features while they are on the ground, and they can basically move safer. And one of the things is to have a runway incursion, especially in this country. This is the number one and top one issue for the FAA. So this is definitely helping you. You cannot take off from a taxiway with that thing. You basically get all kind of warnings on board, and this is really cool. You also had visual approach. Many people get into a smaller airport with no approach. They need extra help to make sure that they can transition safely from the latest vectoring from approach control, and basically put themselves on a 3-degree path all the way down to this uncontrolled airport. Another one which is very much appreciated by the TBM owners is the Barrow VNAV. Not much that we need it in the US, but this is the features that will help you to mitigate with the SBAS coverage, which is not yet deployed in the entire part of the world. If you go to Australia, for instance, you definitely need to go with Barrow VNAV. So at the end, you are going to enjoy the latest GPS approaches with the highest accuracy possible with this last feature. So with this, we continue to enhance the product, and as you see, our theme this year is acrobatic. Continue to have customers flying with very legendary aircraft such as the Spitfires. This is with the TBM 910, and the TBM 910 also had a certain number of features that join his big sister, the TBM 930, where we have the backlit cockpit and we have heated seats. Well, small details, but details matter. When you're in your car, the heated seats is something that you want in the wintertime, right? Well, in aviation, we normally don't need it because as soon as you start your engine, you have heat coming out. Well, when you get on board this aircraft and you fly 3-4 hours, it's get colder. And colder means that you need extra heat. And that's where the heated seats is going to act. So it's actually reversed to what we're used to in the car. And also thanks to also we have an extended warranty on the propeller, which again matters a lot when it comes to cost of operation. So thank you very much. Thank you for being here and for that. one thing I'd like to point out on the aircraft, and you hear us talk a lot about it, is safety. We believe that that's where we have the highest evolution in aviation. And we introduced a couple years ago the eco-pilot, which is a bunch of features that we have all interconnected to basically provide a pillar and having, you know, a smooth protection of the flight envelope of the aircraft. That's the electronic stability protection, the underspeed protection, the emergency descent mode. So if anything happens in the aircraft pressurization, the aircraft will automatically descend by itself. All of those features are coming along with also some mechanical features such as the stick shaker, which in case you disconnect all of those features, you still have a manual feeling of what is going to happen on your cockpit. And we are the first general aviation in that category that has a stick shaker. The NTSB is going to come and visit us this week to basically see if it's one of the features that I'd like to see in general aviation being deployed. But one thing that we introduced this year is, you know, on the left-hand side of the screens, we want to continue to have this enhanced, and I explained a little bit, you know, what was coming up, you know, with the Garmin package. These are definitely working towards safety because you have a more aware pilot, and it's important that you basically can plan ahead and basically make sure that you will fly the aircraft as safely as possible. We also continue to improve a certain number of details, such as having a smart mic in the pilot mask, which basically is eliminating all of the cockpit noise when you start to be on oxygen. You just don't want to surprise people. They are in emergency, they are putting this oxygen mask, and suddenly what they hear in their headsets is all kind of noise they never heard about. So this is basically the pressurization, the mic that was not filtering all of those noise. Now this is the case. We also have airbags. If you basically want to make sure that in the unlikely event something happens, you want to make sure that the aircraft is providing you the safest way to get to the ground if something bad were to happen. So these are all of the features that we start to add one after one to make sure that we provide something which is very well known in the car business and much harder to achieve in aviation, and we are getting there. The one thing that Didier talked about is digital, and innovation is definitely to enter the world of connectivity. This is something that we believe very much. Nobody knows here how much is going to happen next in aviation because of connectivity. This is just the very beginning. We're just scratching the surface of what is possible, what we can do next. So obviously with the FS 510, we're able to have all kind of connections already happening between iPads, iPhones, and the Garmin suites. But we are going to basically take advantage of that, and we are going to show you that in a minute. Last, about the features on the aircraft. Again, details. We want to make sure that the cabin is having all of the bells and whistles that people like, and this is again, you know, the beginning where we continue to enhance this cabin and make sure that all of the comfort is provided. So with that, obviously, this TBM program is moving ahead pretty fast. We saw Didier talking about 57 sales last year. We're moving also ahead pretty nicely. At the end of June, we were at 22 deliveries, which is a good, strong first part of the year as far as we are concerned. And this is what the TBM 900 is doing these days. 261 ordered so far, and 238 deliveries that happened both with the TBM 900, 910, and 930. Well, that gets us to a milestone. 900 aircraft delivered. So this is where we are right now. So we've just achieved 900 aircraft in this TBM program. So this is 930 TS that is holding the serial number 1239, and this is the aircraft that is the 900th that went out the delivery center in France just last week actually, last Monday, on a very rainy day. So I'm sure that this is going to be a lucky number, and we thank again Tom Solano for being the proud owner of this TBM 930. So cumulative, of course, that is what we see in the full perspective of the TBM program. We have a milestone that we are going to celebrate very soon, is to pass 700 aircraft just in North America. So this is our next challenge that is coming next. I'd like to take a moment now to discuss a little bit more in details what we are intended to do with our app, with our Me and My TBM app. So for those that don't know exactly what it is, just a few slides so that you understand what it is. Okay, well, this is our app, and I'm sure that some of you have seen it. But what I'd like you to do is, if you haven't done it, is you need to go on App Store and download this Me and My TBM app. And this is the user and password that you can use. This is the access for you to see the demo aircraft real time and to basically share our information. So, as you all know, we introduced this application in Germany at Aerofriedrichshafen a few months ago. So we're already in the fast learning curve, which is totally new business to us. We are aircraft manufacturers, we know zip about software, and we gotta learn about it. We gotta learn that people are anxious to see new stuff, and we gotta provide news, so at a rapid pace. So basically, this is what we wanted to do with the application. We wanted to make sure that we have a way to connect with the aircraft, to be able to optimize the mission, to in a very short term provide some proactive support, to be able to contact you when something of our finding is that you need to know, and all of that because you accept to be in that big clouds of data and to be able to share data. We all share data today, and sometimes we do know, sometimes we don't, but this is the world that we're entering, and it's not strange to aviation to be also in that data sharing world. So we work with Paraguay on that. We use what is called the Fast Box. This is an acquisition box that is installed on the aircraft, which is able to capture any and all of the information that we have on board and transmit that, not real time, not yet, but soon, probably real time. As soon as you are shutting down the aircraft, you have all of the information of the flight that is sent out to the servers, which basically is going to be pushed all the way and directly to your iPhone or to your iPad. Today we have 25 aircraft that are equipped. We are strongly working on a retrofit plan, and I'm going to talk about it in a minute. So our customers find that very interesting, and we believe that it's already with a V1. It gave a lot of information. You can replay your flight. You can basically, oh gosh, I forgot how much fuel was left when I landed. Well, you just click connect and you have your fuel. So you can call up the FBO and just ask for whatever amount of fuel you need. Or how much time did I don't recall. That leg I was 2 hours, 2 hours and 5 minutes, whatever. Okay, 1 hour and 58. That's what the app is going to provide you. And all kind of information that you can imagine. So we decided to launch the V2. I'm telling you, it's super hard to move people in my company and say, you got to be on the software and you need to think software. So we said 15th of July, we want a V2 version. So what's going to be new? It's what was a challenge for us, and very much it's the word challenge that we retain. So basically we said, why don't we just build into the application a couple of challenges. So why did I do that? Well, this is thanks to my Garmin, guys. When I get my running, app, you connect, you have all kind of challenge where you can connect to your team, to your friends, and blah, blah, blah. And we say, hey, it's that simple. Just let's get connected with the TBM crowd and measure. So we choose a couple of interesting features such as, stabilized approach, the fastest speed, so that we can basically measure ourselves to certain records and becomes, some kind of Top Gun, so we can know how to better fly the aircraft. And as you can see, you are logging and getting points. It's on a month, it's on the year, and it's total. So you basically are able to measure yourself to the community this way. So basically, we got an official message. Maverick, has approved this TBM, the Me and My TBM applications, because he thinks, this is very cool. So I said, why don't I use it? So I decided to go on a flight, and what a better way to come to Oshkosh and to ferry an aircraft. So I basically ferried the TBM 910 that is right on the booth, and this is what we did. So this is all of the flights that when you log on Me and My TBM, as I just presented, this is all of the flights that you can see. Well, I logged 996 points on the ferry over, and it's actually pretty nice to see. And Tom Solano has logged a little bit less than me, so I'm kind of a little bit ahead of him. So this is the kind of things that we wanna do with the application. That's the cool stuff. So basically, once we said that, we looked at the other guys. I mean, why do you have to not have this possibility and the capability to go on the application if you're not installed with a fast box? So here it is. That's the big news. We've just partners with Bad Elf, so here it is. You can get your Bad Elf box, which is going to take your SD card and have an automatic download of all of your data, and it's a little bit more manual than the automatic fastbox down transmit, but this is going to provide you for any and all of the owners that are G1000 equipped and up to be able to send the data through the servers and to be sharing these same applications. So this is new. We want to increase the community, not just go with the flow of deliveries. So we have 400 aircraft to capture. So here's the game. Any one of the TBM owners that wants it, you gotta log 500 points in a month, and you get it for free. So it's going to be free for every customer that log in a month, 500 points. So come and see us, come and see Raphael and the support team, and we'll provide you with more details about this program and how you can be with us on the application. And of course, with this, we are going to continue our strategy to go digital and to be a little bit more connected and to try to come with a load of very valued activities and features for our owners. I believe that on the support side it is going to help us a lot, but we also think that it's no fun to fly fast and to gain precious minutes on our legs when you are on the ground, stuck in doing whatever you have to do. Especially Europe is very good at, having you pay landing fees and all kind of things like that, when you can basically use technology and be able to do all of that automatically with some virtual assistants. That is the intention we do in the next version for the application. Well, I'm coming very closely to the end of this press conference, and as you know now, we've been involved for the 12th year in the Young Eagles program, where we basically take two young individuals, talented young individuals in college, and have experienced a 6 weeks internship at the factory Tarbes, France. So today we have two of them. One is sick. I'm sorry, basically. I think Armagnac has kind of gotten her a little bit. But we have Noah here join us. Noah has been with us 6 weeks in Tarbes, and I'd like you to say a few words about your experience with there, and tell what you did during these 6 weeks.
Well, I started out by doing research for the company on electric propulsion aircraft. I had to do a statistical, first I gathered a bunch of data on what these companies are and what exactly are they doing, and I got as much data as I could that they published on their different aircraft, and I did a statistical analysis to see, are these vehicles actually possible today? Are they possible maybe in the next 10, 15 years from now? And I made a conclusion based on that. And then after that, on the weekends we were free to do whatever we wanted, so we traveled all over the place. We packed so much in the amount of time that we had. It was crazy. I mean, we went to Spain. Riley went over to Switzerland and Florence. I went to Toulouse. I got to visit all the aviation museums I wanted to. It was great. Got to do a ton of flying. My mentor took me up on a rally. We flew over the Pyrenees. That was a blast. Oh man, what else did we do? I flew my very first glider. That was one of the best experiences of my life, I think. Yeah, it was a great experience, and I couldn't thank the EAA or DIAR enough for this opportunity. Thank you.
Well, as you can see, it's a privilege, and I know with all my friends at Gamma, we are very proud to be able to attract as many young individuals that want to join this fabulous industry. There are some various programs. This is ours, and as you can see, we are almost at half of retention. You have to know that it's statistical on every and all of the aviation programs in the U.S. About less than 20% of the students are actually working in aviation after an aviation tuition. So these programs are paying a much higher retention rate. We're almost at 50%, and we believe that makes a difference. So thanks, Noah, for the time. And I'm not going to share his conclusions about electrical, but they were very smart. So we have now a very interesting formula. So with that, our conclusion is to continue on the theme of aerobatics, and now after we've done the very light acrobatic with the extra, let's have a few words about some heavy and the acrobatic jet team with Breitling. We are part of this Young Eagle program, and also we have a large crowd of TBM owners that attend the dinner. So we wanted to make sure that this year we are going to celebrate the century of aerobatics in a very special way. I'll let you have the prime of what is going to be seen on Thursday night.
Hello, I'm Jacques Bottelin, leader of the Breitling jet team, the first professional civilian jet team in the world. Sorry not to be here tonight, and I miss it. We have so warm memories of our American tour in 2015, 2016, where we performed in about 30 air shows, 70 displays. We flew more than 600 VIP guests on board our jets. Some of them were EAA members, and we know that so many more would have been delighted to have this experience on board our jets. Having a partnership with Dare, because I own the TBM 700 and TB30's military trainers, we had the idea to offer EAA members another opportunity to fly on board our jets. What a thrilling experience for pilots. Here is the package: a transatlantic trip to France, then you will fly to our home base in Dijon in a TBM. After a briefing, you will be put flight suit and helmets, and you will fly on board one of our jets in the back seat. You will fly formation aerobatics with 60 jets. And you will bring back home fantastic memories and a video. This unique package is available for 2 persons, so be generous with the youth education program. We count on you.
All right. Well, we are connected by speed. This is our theme, and we like that. We like the passion. We like to share this passion amongst ourselves. This is going to conclude our press conference, and at this time, Didier and I will take any questions.